everyone, PeachesJamesKeaton here with PJKNotary. Welcome to my channel. So if you are returning, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, welcome. So I am a notary public and loan signing agent for the state of Nebraska. I have been that for about a year now. So I am here to share my journey with you, help those of you that are thinking about becoming a notary public or becoming a loan signing agent, and just sharing my journey, sharing tips that I've learned, and then also just continuing to share my continued journey and things that I'm still going to learn or other opportunities that I'm actually looking to get into other than just loan signing agent and general notary work. So I want to share all that with you. But first, today I want to talk about being a notary public and just what is our responsibility and what are the main 5 things that we want to do as notary public. And this calls for if we're doing general notary work and also if we're doing loan signing. These are 5 things that we want to keep in mind and do no matter the scenario that we're doing a notarization. So the first step that you want to do is being able to ID a signer, identify who it is that is before you that is looking to have a notarization. And this is where you'll really want to know your state laws, because there's different documentation that some states accept and some states don't. Some states might allow a credible witness. Some states might allow you to, if you know the person personally. So there's different ways, different documentation that is acceptable in each particular state. So this is where you really want to know your specific state law and what is acceptable forms of ID and how you can identify that signer. But this is really our first step and our first duty, is making sure that that individual has the proper identification or has the proper credible witness or 2 credible witnesses, whatever that might be for your state. This is our first duty. So again, whether you're doing general notary work or loan signings, this is the first thing we want to do. We want to identify that signer. The next step is to scan the document. It's not our job to be the one to determine, is the document truthful? Is it accurate? That is not our job. But it is our job to at least scan the document so that we understand what we're notarizing. Checking for blank spaces. We want to make sure there are no blank spaces. Are there initials that'll be needed on the document? So just being able to scan the document and knowing what are the general contents of that document. You also want to double check the certificate. What type of certificate is it? Is it a jurat? Is it acknowledgement? Because that does matter whether they've already signed the document or not. You might want to scan that as well. Have they already signed it or have they not? And it does matter depending on the type of certificate that is needed in that. So those are just different things that you want to scan that document for. The third step is making sure that that signer is going to be signing these documents willingly. So we never want signers to feel any pressure to sign a document. We don't want them to be coerced into signing anything under pressure or anything. They are going to be willing to sign this document. And it's also up to our professional opinion if the signer is of a sound mind. And this can be tough sometimes, but we do want to keep those things in mind. Is this signer signing this document willingly? Are they of a sound mind and understand what they are signing? Because this is an important part in our acting as that notary public. This is an important piece, is making sure that that signer is signing under their own free will. The fourth thing that you want to do is your journal entry. Not every state requires a notary to keep a journal. In the state of Nebraska, we're actually not required to keep a journal. I do personally, but it is something that's not required. So if you are keeping a journal, it is best practice to complete the journal prior to doing the notarization. And this will just help prevent, if for some reason you already complete your notarial certificate, that person has to go really quickly, get their document and go. Now you don't have that journal entry. You don't have their signature. You don't have their thumbprint. You don't have potentially all the things that you need to fill out that journal. So it is best to do the journal entry prior to completing that notarial certificate. So you'll want to put in all the pertinent information into that journal entry, having that signer sign your document. Again, if you are in a state that requires thumbprints. So getting all that for your journal so you have all of that captured prior to the signer having to potentially leave with that certificate that you've already completed. So definitely doing your journal prior to that. And the last thing you'll want to do is actually complete that certificate. So whether it's a jurat or an acknowledgement, you are going to be filling in various pieces. And sometimes these certificates, they vary. There's different types of acknowledgements and jurats. The wording might be different. This is another thing that you really do want to make sure that you know your state's laws when it comes to the wording, because what the signer might provide you might not be what your state requires as far as different wording. Nebraska is not specific in that wording, but there are some states that are, so you really want to know your state's laws when it comes to the wording that's required. So once you know what type of certificate is needed, you can fill in your state, the county that you're in, and this is one thing to keep in mind. You do want to put the county of the actual location that notarization is taking place. So even if you live in one county, but if you travel to a different county to do that, that is the county that you are going to be putting on that certificate. So you do want to double check that you have the correct county, or hopefully that individual knows what county that they're in. So you're filling in that information. A lot of times it might ask for the signer's name who appeared before you. You're filling in that, filling in your name. Some certificates might ask for your commission expiration. So you're just filling in all the pieces of that notarization. Now, if it's a jurat, you do have some extra steps in there. You do want to complete that oath and affirmation. So this is where the signer does have to verbally give an oath and affirmation for jurats. So that is an extra step there. Where it is acknowledgement, they don't have to do that oath and affirmation. So you do want to make sure you're filling out that certificate completely and then including your stamp on there, and then you're all set to go. So these are really 5 steps that you want to do regardless of if it's general notary work or you're at the loan signing table. You're still going to do these steps even with loan signings. You're going to make sure that's the first thing you do is capturing that ID information for those borrowers, entering that journal entry, scanning the documents. Hopefully with real estate transactions, you've already, once you've gotten that package from the signing service or the lender, you're scanning it, making sure you're understanding what the documents are. Again, making sure that they're willing to sign, that they're not feeling pressure to sign any of those real estate documents. And then again, filling out a lot of those jurats or acknowledgements. So these are 5 steps that you always want to keep in mind when you are completing your notarization. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and let me know what state you're in. I can help navigate this journey. Although I'm in the state of Nebraska, I can definitely help anyone in any state navigate some of those state laws. So let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you're thinking about becoming a notary public or loan signing agent, or let me know if you already are one and what questions that you might have or content that I can help make videos on just to help you guys out. So again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.